Happy National Marquette Day, everybody. Really excited about the way our guys finished the game. Obviously it was not one of our better offensive games, but the defensive effort was terrific. Butler deserves a lot of credit for the way they fought and battled. I thought their defensive game plan was really, really good. The switching that they did bothered us some. And then they made some tough shots in the second half. You know, we had the lead up to 15, and it seemed like we had the game in hand, but they made some tough shots. You know, we had a couple stretches where we didn't shoot the ball as well. Had some turnovers that, we would love to have back. But I told the guys in the locker room afterward, winning is hard. Winning in the Big East is even harder. And Butler has Big East players and a coach that's coached on Monday night. And so, for us to have any expectation other than it's going to take 40 minutes, it's going to be a grind, it's going to be challenging, we're going to have to support the heck out of each other, would be a flawed way of looking at things. So excited to be able to win on National Marquette Day. Happy for our guys. That possession that Stevie Mitchell had at the end there was that was really what we want to be all about in terms of our energy and our aggressiveness, and really grateful for him and all of our guys.
Your offense has been so efficient this year, but you had to scrap this one out. What have you learned about how your team can win in different kind of ways?
Well, the goal is to be at a high level on both ends of the floor. But one of the things I learned in coaching is that in most games, you're going to be significantly better on one end than the other. And, when you have those games where everything's clicking and you're playing at a really, really high level, then your offense was terrific and your defense was terrific and you win like 80-50. But that's unrealistic to do most of the time. And I've always kind of thought about the psychological side of, well, why do you need to be better on one than the other? And most teams I've coached have been better on the defensive end. I thought today we played too much one-on-one. Butler did what Villanova did, which is the same thing that Mississippi State did, and most of the teams that, want to slow us down and can't do it, they go to switching. They go to making sure that they keep guys in front and they don't put two guys on the ball. And I didn't think we handled it great today. I thought we tried to play too much one-on-one. Not exactly sure why. I got a couple theories behind it, but we'll get together tomorrow as a group and get on the same page.
You had Chase out there for most of the last 5 minutes. What gave you the confidence to put him in there in crunch time?
He's a dude. Yeah, I think for a freshman, he plays with great poise. You can count on him to defend a lot of different spots. And, I thought he was playing really efficiently on offense, not trying to force too much, but at the same time being ready to attack. He's gained a lot of trust.
Coach, Chase said that you guys are playing connected and together on defense. Just how much of that comes from, having kind of being able to put together a consistent rotation of group of healthy players, and how difficult is it for a team like Butler that's playing without Chuck Harris and has basically been injured or missing several players throughout the season?
Yeah, I can't really speak to any other team. I think in general, when you're missing players, what you practiced, for the week or two before that when you had those players is going to be a little bit different when you go out there in the game. That being said, we're kind of at that time of year where, you look around the league and most teams have, somebody's banged up, somebody's got something, that's restricting them. And so, we just try to do our best with who we have. And I know that's the case with every other team. It's February. These guys are human beings. I would say this is the most challenging time, early, mid, late February, to find, within you the clarity to go play with absolute purpose. And I think that's because it's a long year. And, the end of the regular season is not really in sight for these guys, even though it's not far away.
Just the last 40 seconds there of the first half, you go from up 5, Butler has the ball, to up 12 at the half. Just how critical was that momentum swing?
That
What
was
did you
huge.
like about the way you
Yeah,
executed?
we talk a lot about managing the end of the first half. I thought those guys did a phenomenal job of that. I mean, we got the ball. We wanted to attack. They did a good job kind of cutting off our initial drive. So we end up scoring with 30-something on the clock. We would have liked to score a little bit earlier. They get the ball. There's a really small differential, 2 or 3, 4 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. So in that situation, we decided that we were going to trap the ball screen, and the guys executed well. Ben Gold, this was his best defensive game of the year. I'm really proud of him. He scored 1 basket, but he was impactful for winning. And that's, as a freshman, that's a mental leap from, when you come in maybe thinking that it's about what numbers I put up or whatever it may be to, man, I just want to help our team win. So he was in that trap, did a great job getting his hands on the basketball, and then Tyler ended up drawing that foul, making 2 free throws, and then a phenomenal pass on the inbounds play to Cam, and obviously Cam did what he does.
Chase alluded to the pressure of the day. Is the namesake a bit of a burden and a blessing because you don't want to lose on National Marquette Day?
Yeah, I think that I've been here for 2 years, and I think our guys have felt some of that both years. Both games kind of felt a little bit like a grind, but at the same time, it's our responsibility to play through approach goals, not avoidance goals. And again, when you get to this time of year, if you want to, you can find something that you're trying to avoid, something that you're trying to keep from happening, and it's just not a fun way to be. It's not a fun way to play. But when you feel that, you have to replace that with the sense of, hey, I love the fact that I'm out here with my brothers. I love the fact that looking around this arena, every seat is full. Look at all the gold and blue, and let's go after this opportunity. And I thought when we played well today, that's where our guys were. And then there were other moments where maybe, there was some avoidance.
You said that the guys aren't looking to the regular season, so I'm not going to ask you about how this game gets you ready for March because we're not even there yet. But heading into Tuesday, 22 points off of turnovers, 30 points in the paint, 12 off of fast breaks, great. But I feel like as you as a coach, you're probably going to look at that 0 points off of second chance balls. How huge is that going into UConn on Tuesday?
Well, I don't think we're ever going to be confused with the best offensive rebounding team in the country. But to your point, when you're not shooting the ball well, you have to get some of them back. And it's the number one antidote to a tough shooting night. I think for our team, there's a bunch of stuff on offense specifically that we will look at as a team. Our guys are really, really smart, but it's a fine line because there's also a growing confidence that they have that they can score in different kinds of ways. And so sometimes, hopefully you actually gain a level of humility from games like today. We only scored 60 points. We scored 0.91 points per possession. That's not good enough. That's not who we want to be. And as I tell our guys, if we score 90, you guys are the ones scoring the points. I mean, you divide 90 up between 7, 8 guys like that. That's you guys. Same thing with 60. That's why it wasn't until late in the game we had anyone in double figures. But our guys want to play together. They want to help each other. I think it's just a fine line of understanding what's the best way to attack when teams defend the way that Butler did today.
Coach, 2-3 months ago, you'd probably look at Kolek and say, he's the assist guy, which he still is, but in the past 3 games, he's been the highest scorer on your team as well. Just how throughout the season have you seen him develop to be more of a point scorer?
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like the guy could score. He was our leading scorer over the course of the summer in practice. And I got a ton of confidence in Tyler Kolek. I mean, I was mad at him today a couple times when he didn't shoot. You know, I like when he shoots the ball. He works harder than anyone in terms of his extra work and the time that he puts in the gym. But I love the aggressiveness that he's showing. And this has probably been the biggest upgrade in our offense from our team last year, is that both last year and this year the ball was in his hands a lot. But now this year, people can't just play him to pass. And, in fact, in some of these games, he's almost being more aggressive with his scoring. He still managed 8 assists. So, you know, we've got a few guys on our team that are, in my opinion, elite playmakers for others, and it starts with him. And so we just got to keep helping him understand the different reads and angles out there where he can attack. But I'm certainly glad we have him on our team.
You mentioned Stevie heating up the ball there at the end. The other game, in the other night, he had that big rebound against Villanova at the end of the game. Why do you think, as such a young player, he's able to make those winning?
He's a winner. Stevie Mitchell's a winner. His game goes beyond any statistics. You can't tell from a piece of paper what he did to help the game. And he has unbelievable pride in his team, in his teammates, and it means a lot to him on a day like today, National Marquette Day. He's a pleaser. He wants to please all 17,000 plus people in the building and make them happy. And sometimes that's a real burden on his shoulders because it's like, Stevie, man, you're not going to be perfect all the time. But, man, I'm really, really grateful for him because he cares and he competes. And he's a huge reason why our starting lineup, that group of 5 guys, that's a very, very good statistical lineup for us because he does a lot of things that other guys don't necessarily do.